Good morning, good afternoon, everybody. It is that time again for Subplot. I forget what episode we're on, so I don't know.
We'll find out when I do the thumbnail.
I'm joined with Aaron, as always. And, yeah, we just endured.
Endured is a good word to describe what we just had to win.
Yeah.
Painfully endured. Well, I shouldn't say it the first one. The first one
Right.
we're going to talk about, we didn't painfully endure. The second one, we absolutely painfully endured.
Yes. And we'll get into that more later in the episode. We're going to start out with some minor, is probably a good word for this.
Yeah, underwhelming.
Underwhelming,
news, I
actually,
guess,
yes.
would be the good word to use.
So there was I thought they were pictures, but as I found out, it was actually like a 3-second clip.
Yes, at CCPX, they were debuting a lot of Warner Media movies, like with teaser trailers and stuff like that. And everyone was like, oh, well, there's no possible way we're not going to get a Godzilla vs. Kong trailer. I mean, they're showing all of Warner Brothers stuff. And we didn't. We got what is a concept teaser is what we got. And it literally is 2 seconds worth of footage of Godzilla swimming towards the camera and Kong roaring.
Which the Godzilla swimming honestly could have been footage from...
from King of the Monsters,
yeah.
Yeah, if his fins had been glowing, it would have just it's
the
almost
same
like
shot.
You could have used that shot and just taken away the glowing fins and been like, "Snoo!" Like,
well, maybe that's what they did.
Maybe Legendary's getting into just using stock footage, like the one movie that we're going to talk about.
Yeah,
but
everything ties back to that movie,
right? Kong. There's some new details about Kong. We finally see Kong's face, older. He kind of has the longer. People were exaggerating that Kong has a beard. It's like his chin hair is just a little longer. Like, it's really not that noticeable. It doesn't detract from anything.
I still haven't seen that movie, so like he looks like Kong to me.
Yeah, and he has on like a chain collar, and if you look closely in the footage, they're on like some kind of boat.
Oh, yeah.
So
probably that boat from the poster.
So some people were saying, they're like, oh, it's Godzilla, like, swimming up to Kong. And I'm like, no, I don't think that it is. I think that's just Godzilla swimming, like, before he breaches the water. And that's Kong. Like, if Godzilla sees Kong and Kong sees Godzilla, like, that's Kong doing his roar, like...
Yeah, just, like, reacting.
Yeah, trying to, like...
to intimidate him.
Yeah, but people were like, well, I think that Kong's roaring at Godzilla coming up from the water, like, and Godzilla's, like, roaring coming... And I'm like, he wouldn't be able to see him. Like, no, that makes no damn sense. Why would you
I don't think those
that?
Clips are, like, related to each other.
No, I don't. I honestly think that they're two different... I think that they may take place in the same... like set piece, but I don't think that they are in conjunction with each other, like one right after the other. I really don't think that is a. I don't think that is a spliced together scene.
Yeah,
it would make no damn sense if that was the spliced.
the
together
Godzilla
scene.
part could be the beginning of the scene or sequence,
or like the way I imagine it is, like a friend of mine, Travis. We had talked about it on his podcast a couple months ago, where, like, we think that Kong, like, the big aircraft carrier that people were talking about, the footage where it was the silhouettes of Kong going to punch Godzilla.
Yeah.
And the aircraft carrier that they're on the back of the toy boxes.
Right.
Is that aircraft carrier is a specific Monarch carrier built to transport Kong, which is why both monsters can fit on it, because they're both way bigger than a normal aircraft carrier.
Right, yeah.
So the only way that they could fit on it is if it's a big enough one that was built to, like, harness Kong to transport him. So, like, this, to me, the Kong footage looks like that's where that scene is going to take place, is a large Monarch carrier being escorted by other aircraft and destroyers, and Godzilla, like, that...
He could have just broke free at that moment.
Yeah, he could have broke free, like... upon seeing Godzilla, but Godzilla, like, him swimming, that could be, like, I'm imagining, like, an establishing shot of them, like, entering the bay or wherever they're taking Kong, or it could just be out in the middle of the ocean. I don't know.
Yeah.
But I'm just saying, like, I could see Godzilla, like, they show, like, an underwater shot, and Godzilla comes out of, like, the depths, like, out of the shadows, and then breaches the water and, like, smashes into the side of the carrier because he knows Kong's on it to lure him, like, to break free so that they can fight.
Yeah.
Like, and I think that's what happens in this whole thing is, like, the reason Kong escapes is because Godzilla pisses him off and antagonizes him enough to the point where they get to having their brawl. Yeah. Because Godzilla sees him as a rival threat. So, I mean, it's like 2 seconds of footage. Am I disappointed because the movie's less than 6 months out? Yeah, I am. Yeah. Because this is kind of ridiculous. Wonder Woman, and I know a few of you might be like, no, shut up. Wonder Woman ran its entire marketing campaign, ran every Doritos bag you could think of, every Funko Pop, every action figure. She's had 3 or 4 new trailers since the initial drop, and a bunch of TV spots. So don't tell me...
Like, even new trailers after.
So don't tell me... Like, they even showed new trailers at CCXP Worlds. Yeah. So don't tell me, this makes sense in a timeline aspect. No, it doesn't. If you have a movie coming out in 5 months, there's no way that you cram all your marketing into 5 months.
And you can't tell me that people don't want this movie.
The teaser trailer, not a concept trailer, the teaser trailer at Comic-Con for Godzilla King of the Monsters came out like a year before the movie to build hype.
A lot of times that's how it is.
Godzilla vs. Kong was supposed to be out in March, and there was no teaser, there was no trailer, there was no nothing, there was no poster, absolutely nothing. So I don't want to hear anybody tell me, this makes sense from a marketing... No, it doesn't. It doesn't. I've taken marketing classes. None of this makes sense at all. This, to me, seems like Warner Brothers forgot about this movie, does not care about it. They don't care if it sees the light of day, in my opinion. Because if... I'm saying that if I worked for Warner Brothers, if I was a CEO or a marketing consultant, I'd be like, hey, we need to push this. Yeah. If we want people to watch this movie, they need to see... footage from it. We need to release trailers, posters, all that. Like, they saved a ton in marketing because they're not doing any marketing. Yeah. And there's really no time to either.
Not really.
I mean, shit. If this movie, and it was slated for November, so that time already passed. Right. If it was the case to release in November, then guess what? When you had people at home during quarantine in March, staring at their screens, maybe you should have ran some trailers at that point. When everybody's sitting at home looking at screens.
Just like ads on, I don't know, Twitter or
Facebook. At that point, you have a captive audience. Run marketing at that point. Yeah. I'm sorry, that's the perfect point that I would be running a huge marketing campaign where I'd be like, you get these images on everyone's screen. Yeah. Because that's all they're looking at. And especially, so right now, get it out there.
Especially now with the news that we talked about on the normal podcast, all these Warner Brother movies are coming to HBO Max. So, like, there should be ads for them all.
Yeah, exactly.
Which there's a little bit of
Dune. Dune was supposed to come out December? It was supposed to come out this month, wasn't it? The first part of Dune.
It could. I don't know.
It was. I wasn't following it. Supposed to. It got pushed back, but it was supposed to come out in late December, I think. Well, guess what? That got pushed back, and they had a trailer for it. They had pictures from the movie and all of that. Yeah. What if we got... All right, let's take a step back. For all of you who think we're being too harsh on Legendary and Warner Brothers for their marketing, let's take a step back and have a look-see. We got 3 seconds of footage of Kong throwing a punch at Godzilla in a sizzle reel from somebody's cell phone camera. Let's say last summer, I think. And I don't know.
So over a year ago.
Yeah. So over the summer, we had one image off the toy boxes for the Godzilla vs. Kong of Kong throwing the punch at Godzilla, which is what, that iconic sizzle reel scene was about.
Yeah.
We got 6 new toys. Toys from the movie that won't be out for a year. We got those over the summer too.
Yeah.
And now we have 2 more seconds of footage. So we have half a toy line, 5 seconds total of footage, and one crystal clear image from the movie. Not a poster. And about 16 different logos / banners. So I'm sorry, whoever's in charge of marketing, your ass should be fired.
Yeah.
You should never work in marketing ever again.
I don't even know if it comes down to a lack of trying. I think somebody probably directed them to not bother.
That's what I mean. That person, like head of marketing, needs terminated.
Right, yeah.
Because this is a travesty.
Yeah.
This is literally a travesty. I have been waiting for this rematch. When they said that they're doing Kong Skull Island after the Godzilla 2014, I was like, they're doing it. They're finally doing it. Like, this is going to be amazing. And then they are so dropping the ball on this entire project.
And does it have anything to do you think, with the lack of performance that I think King of the Monsters had?
That shouldn't have anything to do with it.
I mean, it shouldn't.
No.
But
no, you should be pushing that no matter what.
Yeah.
Even if your movie is complete dog shit. I have seen dog shit movies push an excellent marketing campaign.
That's true.
And they do well? No. But did their marketing work? Yes, because if you said something to somebody about that movie, they're like, oh yeah, I saw something for that, but it was garbage.
Yeah.
Pixels had a better goddamn marketing campaign than this movie.
Oh, that movie gets picked on.
It does. But
maybe rightfully so, but anyway.
but like, that's the thing. It's like, come on, guys.
Yeah.
Seriously, get your shit together. We should have had a teaser for Godzilla vs. Kong at Godzilla King of the Monsters.
Probably at the end of it.
Well, like, yeah.
Honestly.
I mean, we did. We got the cave paintings, but that's it.
Yeah.
Like, we should have gotten a teaser for that then that led into that movie, but there has just been nothing. Like, how are people supposed to get hyped for your movie? Like, listen, even if you're losing faith in it, like, oh, well, you know, with COVID and all, yeah, I get it. But, like, do something. Market the hell out of it. Because if people, like, that's the worst thing that can possibly happen to your movie, is if people aren't talking about it and there's nothing going on with it, then it's going to flop.
Yeah.
And if they're already worried, if they're like, oh, King of the Monsters didn't do well guess what? This one's going to do way worse if you don't get your head out of your ass and do something about it.
Yeah.
Like,
it'll be their fault.
If you're not marketing it, you have no one to blame but yourself.
Yeah.
And, like, it shocks me that nobody at Warner Brothers or Legendary, well, I won't say Legendary per se, but nobody at Warner Brothers or Legendary is, like, reading online feedback and being like, hey, these people just don't give a shit about this movie anymore.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like, well, yeah, because you dropped the ball. Hardcore.
Yeah.
The movie was supposed to release March 13th of 2020. That got pushed back because of COVID. There was no teaser trailer, no poster, no nothing. That movie was supposed to come out Friday the 13th, 2020. No marketing was released, and they pushed it back. Then they said they had to do extensive reshoots. It was going to come out in November. Still no teaser trailer, no nothing. So people started to get a little bit more hopeful when the toy line released and everything, and they're like, wait a minute, maybe a trailer's coming. Nope, no trailer. Now we have CCXP Worlds happening, and everybody's like, oh, there's a huge Warner Legendary panel. They're going to talk about Dune and all this. Godzilla vs. Kong will probably come out. Nope, absolutely nothing. It's like, come on. How do you drop the ball so fucking hard?
Yeah.
I mean, it's just unbelievable. This is a rematch that has been in the making for 58 years, and you cannot like come up with anything. Give me a teaser trailer. That's it.
It doesn't have to be like an actual trailer.
Yeah, it doesn't have to be. Don't give me a whole trailer, but like give me something a little bit more than 5 seconds of footage. And I'm sorry, it's 2 seconds officially, because the other one was ripped from somebody's cell phone video that they took.
Yeah.
So there's 2 full official seconds of footage. So like,
it's so bad.
It's like, come on, guys. Like, this is amateur hour. This is amateur hour for marketing. It's unbelievable.
I don't know if there's like another movie that would even compare to how bad of a marketing campaign this is.
Well, like, whenever I think about it, I think of like underground marketing. And one good example of it is the Cloverfield Paradox, which did this whole underground marketing campaign that Sean knew about, and he was following it because he said, hey, I think another Cloverfield movie's going to come out. He said because they're doing like this thing online, but it was all just Reddit. Like, it was like rabbit holes and threads that you could jump down on Reddit where they were like decoding messages and stuff, but there was nothing. No posters, no nothing. The smart thing that they did, they took an ad out during the Super Bowl.
Wow.
Because what's going to get you more more marketing grip than a Super Bowl ad?
Yeah, I mean, and they cost a lot of money.
Yeah, and they showed the Cloverfield like teaser from the first movie with the monster, the giant monster.
Yeah.
And they showed that during the Super Bowl, and I was like, I remember sitting there watching it and with Sean and Josh and Dylan, and I'm going, what? And I'm like looking at this, and I turn and I like look at Sean, and he goes, and he like pulls up Reddit, and he goes, something big's happening with it. So we're like watching it further, and then this thing for Cloverfield, like it says Cloverfield, there's another trailer that comes up for it, and it starts showing like footage and everything, and I like look back at him, and he's like looking at his phone and looking back, and he and I are both looking at each other like, oh my god. And then it says the Cloverfield Paradox. And then they had a third ad, or at least I think there was a third ad, where they said Cloverfield Paradox streaming on Netflix after the game. So I was like, what?
After
like,
the game?
Yeah, so of course after the game we all stuck around and we're like, let's watch the Cloverfield Paradox. So we're like, all right, yeah. So, but like that was you saved a ton in marketing by waiting till the last minute.
Yeah.
And throwing your ad up on the Super Bowl where there would be millions of people watching. That's perfect. That's good marketing. That's good marketing because you didn't have to waste a ton of money on marketing for months to try to build up your hype. This...
You think they could do something like that?
No.
Okay.
It's far too late for that.
I don't know when the Super Bowl usually is.
Unless... Well, let's talk about our next thing here. So Legendary...
Yeah.
Has decided to take legal action against Warner Media.
Yeah.
Because Warner Media decided that they were going to lump Godzilla vs. Kong, and Dune into the HBO Max streaming event for the 2021 catalog.
Yeah.
So they're taking legal action because allegedly Legendary was this close to putting a deal together with Netflix, because Netflix, as some of you know, offered Legendary $200 million for Godzilla vs. Kong. Now their budget was $160 million, which they would have made their money back and more
instantly.
So yeah,
at least.
So that, to me, from a business aspect, that's a good deal. I would take that deal.
Yeah. Especially with no marketing.
So they did not take that deal. They said, no, we're not going to take that deal. And Netflix offered a counteroffer of $260 million. And Legendary was about to pull the trigger and sell it to them, and Warner Media blocked it because they were going to do their HBO Max. They were going to lump it in with HBO Max. So Legendary is taking legal action because they told them they couldn't distribute their movie the way they wanted to.
Yeah.
So they're taking legal action against against it for Dune, but possibly Godzilla vs. Kong as well, because then the Netflix deal, the counteroffer came out that people were like, "Oh, okay, that's probably why they're taking that's probably why they're taking legal action."
Yeah.
It's because they were this close to making a deal on it, which they would be making $100 million more as profit on top of the $160 million that they would have that they spent on making the movie.
Right.
So, I mean, that's instant money. That's not put it out there and pray to God that you make back your budget.
Yeah, because that wouldn't include... I don't know how Netflix works, but I'm sure depending on the amount of streams you get, you get X amount of
revenue.
Yeah. That's the word I was trying to think of. So, I mean, but that's, like you said, that's guaranteed money at least.
Yeah.
On top of whatever stream.
That's like if somebody said to me, they're like, "Oh, okay, well, you can draw this picture, okay, and, you spent an hour or so on it, and you would charge $100 for this picture to be drawn if you were selling it to somebody. But you're going to make prints of it, and you're going to sell them at $8 a piece, and you're going to go to conventions, and you're going to pray to God that 12 people buy your prints so you can make back that $100 worth of money that you lost, or you take the drawing and sell it to somebody for $120, and there you made back your bank instantly."
Yeah.
To me, that's a good bit. Like, some of you might not agree, but I'm sorry, if I'm the guy from Legendary and they say, "Hey, we're going to give you your budget plus $100 million on top of it," I'd be like, "Yes, we're doing that, because that gives me $100 million extra, because I already paid the cast and crew. Now, I got $100 million extra dollars to play with for my next movie."
Right.
Guaranteed. That's the thing,
that's
too.
Guaranteed.
It's a guarantee of money. So, I'm with them. I'm with them. And honestly, I know a lot of you won't agree. You'll be like, "I want to see it in theaters. I want to see it in theaters." I got a big TV at home.
Yeah.
You got a big TV here.
Yeah.
I could watch it on this screen. I really don't care.
I don't either.
I really don't care.
I mean, I think it sucks, not to go off on a tangent on the movie theater thing.
I think that movie theaters will play it eventually.
Yeah.
When it's safe to go back. But I'm sorry. If I can sit in my underwear in my bed and just watch it on my big TV, guess what? I'm going to do that.
Right? Yeah.
Because I can consume alcohol while I'm there.
Yes, alcohol is sometimes needed with Godzilla.
Yes. Which kind of segues us, actually.
It does.
It's a nice little transition.
It would if we were going right into that one.
Well, yeah. We'll get back to that joke.
Yes.
We'll circle back around.
So, one of the two movies that we watched for this installment is the first one being Destroy All Monsters. This one came out in 1968. I don't know what else to say other than that. I'll just start reading the thing here. Humans have achieved world peace by the year 1999.
I love how I just want to stop and just say how much I love every movie made in the late 60s. Is like, the year 1999 is going to be a banger. Like, you just wait, it's going to be amazing. And also, I think that
that was so far away back then, too.
I know, and I think that the reason why... So, you have the moon base and everything in this movie.
Yeah.
And I know the reason why. Kubrick's 2001: A Space Odyssey was made in 1968.
Okay.
Early 1968, I believe. So Destroy All Monsters was kind of like trying to cash grab on that. Like, hey, we're going to do a moon base.
Yeah.
And
I was going to ask you about, all the space exploration in a couple of these Godzilla movies.
Bruh, it's 2020. We don't even have a moon base.
I know.
They had this in 1999.
Well, I was thinking, I wondered if a lot of the space stuff was because of Star Trek.
I think it had some to do with Star Trek and a lot to do with 2001.
Yeah. Okay.
Actually, I gotta check to see if 2001 actually came out before, because this, what, August?
August 1st.
Excuse me.
While you're looking that up, I'll continue reading. Various monsters are confined to an area known as Monsterland. The monsters are freed from the area and are mind-controlled by aliens known as Keloks, who send them to attack major cities, as they always do anyway.
Oh my God, yeah, this was April 2nd, 1968 was when 2001 came out. So this was 100% trying to cash in on that.
When the monsters are freed from the... I forget how you said that, Ari. Keloks. K-E-Y, locks.
Just splice me in saying Keloks every time like you have to say it.
Okay. By the Keloks influence, the aliens send Ghidorah to challenge the other monsters. If that made sense, great.
Yeah, so basically Earth... So the monsters break free of Monster Island after some like volcanic earthquake happens, and they start to go rampaging through cities. But it's like in the blink of an eye. Mm-hmm. Like the island starts to collapse, and then the monsters are instantly in other cities, just destroying things. And you're like, "Yo, what?" But they're placed there specifically by the Keloks,
right?
And they're all under mind control. So basically, the whole movie is these astronauts and the scientists have to go and track down where these transmitters are, destroy them, that way they can break the monsters free of the mind control, and then the Keloks use their last greatest weapon, Ghidorah, to fight the rest of the monsters.
Because they start, once they break the controls or whatever, like the monsters are like, yeah, bad guys. Or something. From what I remember.
And I mean, there's like but not before some cool action monster sequences happen, like 3 monsters showing up in Tokyo at one time. I'm sorry, 4 actually showing up in Tokyo at one time that they all, have to fight off. And there's a few other good action sequences that happen. Them trying to destroy the main transmitter in it was on Monster Island, I think, that they landed in there in the Keloks base.
Yeah.
And then they destroyed that main transmitter that broke all the monsters free, and then that's how they used Ghidorah.
That's the one they were like shooting that laser gun thing at.
And Ghidorah doesn't put up much of a fight. Really, like all the other monsters just kind of curb stomp him. I mean, it's not really much of a fight, like with them having to.
Yeah, I didn't think it was. Yeah, like they literally at one point were stomping him.
Yeah, they were like stomping on the neck.
It's like, stay down.
There's a cool sequence where like Anguirus bites the neck.
Yeah.
And like they fly up with him still attached and all that, and then
I thought Anguirus was dead.
Oh yeah.
Like when he lands, and then Ghidorah comes back down, and like you hear bones break or crack. So I was like, oh,
when
shit,
they
he's
land
dead.
like on the shell and they're like, pushing on it. And everything. And then I think this is the only movie where like Ghidorah dies, quote unquote, because like the volcanic eruption, like the ground collapses and like swallows Ghidorah up, and like you never see him again.
Right.
And it takes place in the future too, which kind of makes no sense in the rest of the story progression.
That's true.
But because like if you look at it in a chronological order,
I didn't even think about it being in the future.
It takes place in. Like, the movie takes place in 1999, even though it was made in 1968.
Yeah.
But when you think about it, this movie should come 4 years after Godzilla vs. Destroya. And I'm like, what?
Yeah.
Like, thinking about that, and I'm like, that doesn't make any sense.
I mean, there's through lines.
You could say this is another timeline.
Yeah.
Because there is a Godzilla in 1999.
Yeah.
So I would kind of like look at it as this is a alternate timeline to something that.
And that's almost what they all almost are. Really,
Yeah.
Is what I'm kind of coming to figure out myself, I guess.
Yeah.
Like there's some continuity here and there, but a lot of times it's just like they're just kind of standalone stories almost.
Yeah, and I think that this one might actually be.
I mean, I would put this one under the standalone just because it's in the future.
Yeah,
You know,
I would say everything leading up to it could be part of it, part of that timeline. But
Yeah.
like after this, it's kind of like, okay, where are we at now?
Right.
But like that's the other thing is when you have the consistency of the suits in the next 1, 2, 3 more movies, it's kind of like, huh?
yeah,
Like you're like, but wait a minute, like it's the same Godzilla.
yeah,
Like it looks the same. Are we sure it's not the same timeline? But then you're like, well, it doesn't say that it's like
wibbly wobbly, timey wimey.
like the movie Godzilla versus Gigan. Everybody's dressed like it's the 1972, so
Okay.
it clearly is not in 2001 or something
Yeah.
like that. So it's like, wait a minute. And then of course, like in that movie, like not to jump ahead, but in that movie, like they identify Ghidorah and they're like, oh yeah, we know that's Ghidorah, like by the sound. And there's actually like one thing where they're trying to identify it and they hear the noise and they go, yeah, that's Ghidorah. And I'm like, oh, okay, you know who Ghidorah is, but what timeline are we drawing that from? Are we drawing
Yeah.
it from Ghidorah and Monster Zero, or are we drawing that from Destroy All Monsters? Like,
Yeah.
which one are we talking about? The timelines get all confusing.
Oh yeah.
I will lay down the law right now and tell you that every Godzilla timeline is more confusing than any Terminator timeline. I will fight any of you who tell me that they're
Well, the
less
Terminator
confusing.
ones are okay. I can figure those out.
No, but it's like once you start like thinking about like the Sarah Connor, like, and you're like, okay, but like, what timeline are we in Dark Fate? Are we still in this timeline, or are all those timelines erased and we're in a completely different timeline now? Like,
Yeah.
it's kind of like one of those where you're thinking about it. It's the same shit with this, except these have way more movies with way more timelines that just get way more confusing as it goes.
Yeah. I don't know. I find that stuff to be fun though. To sit down.
Oh no, it is, because like you could rack your brain for years thinking about like, and of course all the creators of these movies are gone.
Yeah.
So you can't ask them like, well, where was this supposed to take place in continuity?
Right.
And even if they were still around, they'd probably be like, I don't know. Like,
Wherever.
I don't know. Dude, we made these movies in somebody's backyard with a pool. Like,
They're all probably on some good. What was this 68 LSD? Was that?
oh no, they were on it for the next movie. Not this one. This one was actually pretty comprehensive, and I could follow this one a lot.
Oh no, yeah, this was Well, they got into some crazy LSD stuff.
Oh yeah, I would say this movie, I had a lot of fond memories of it, and was itching to revisit it.
Yeah.
And then after watching it, I was like, and of course I was half-assedly paying attention because I was working on commissions and stuff like that in the background.
Yeah.
And so I just had it on, and I was like watching a couple minutes, and I'd go back to drawing and like listening and like peeking up every now and again. And I still like this movie a lot, and maybe I wasn't paying enough attention, but I was like, man, this wasn't as good as I remembered it being.
Yeah.
Like when I was
I
12 or something like that.
I gotta quit doing this, but like, time is a hard thing to find. So, like the first half of this movie, I watched on my phone on a lunch break, and then the other half was 4:30 this morning. So,
it's a hell of a time to be crunching to watch it.
So honestly, the last half of the movie is much more, in my memory than the first half.
Oh yeah, because it's just monster action.
But yeah, it was all pretty good.
Score is excellent in this
Yeah.
movie. There's a lot of great memorable themes by Akira Ifukube. And like that's one thing that I remember. Like as soon as I popped the DVD in, and the title sequence started rolling, and the march is playing. I'm like, yes. I'm like, this is one of my favorite Ifukube themes. I was like, I could listen to this on loop for like days.
Let's talk about the monsters that we see in this movie, just because there are so many, and I don't know probably even half of their names.
We can start naming them like Pokemon.
Yeah.
We have Baragon, Rodan, Mothra, Manda, Gorosaurus, Kumanga, Minya. Did I say Varan already?
Not yet.
Varan, Anguirus. Did I say Anguirus?
I think so.
Okay. And Ghidorah, of course.
Yeah.
So this is jam-packed with every Toho monster ever created. And it actually is every Toho monster ever created up to that point.
Up to that point.
Yeah. With the exception of, I don't think Maguma's not in this. So, yeah. But every other major Toho player is in this movie.
Not including, like, the lobster dude.
Oh, yeah. No. Yeah, that's not in it.
The big mantises.
Okay, so not
I don't think those count.
Not every
really. Yeah.
major.
I think you're
major player. I'll say.
Yeah.
Although, well, they died though, so you couldn't really bring them back. I was gonna say the Gargantuas, but they're dead.
Yeah.
So you can't bring them back.
Well, wasn't Anguirus dead? Technically.
Technically, yes, but he came back. No. This is the first movie with Anguirus since Raids Again.
Yeah.
Yeah, how the hell did that happen?
I don't know.
I never really thought about that until now.
I was thinking that. I was like, he looks a lot better than he did in Raids Again, which makes sense. But, yeah, I don't know. I thought it was cool to have him back. He was a pretty big player in this.
Yeah.
Which one's the T-Rex?
That's Gorosaurus.
Gorosaurus.
Not Brosaurus.
Oh, yeah, he called it, yeah.
God,
Brosaurus.
That just makes me angry.
I'm calling him that from now on, Brosaurus. Now, he's not like... Is he like a throwback to almost what Godzilla originally was?
No, I'll educate you here real quick. In 1967, Toho made another Kong movie. I told you about this. King Kong Escapes, where he fights a mechanical Kong. Mechana-Kong is what the name of it is.
Oh, God.
But on the island that Kong's on, they do essentially a scene like in the original King Kong where he fights the T-Rex and saves Anne. Kong fights a giant Tyrannosaur-type creature, Gorosaurus. So he fights that, and he kills that, so it's dead too.
Yeah.
But it comes back in this.
Okay.
So, they said that Gorosaurus lives on Monster Island with the rest of the monsters. Gorosaurus is a strange kaiju that only shows up twice ever. He did have figures made of him.
Yeah.
I'd love to see him come back.
Yeah.
He's an interesting creature, and I think you could throw him in the Legendary Monsterverse.
Yeah.
Just make him a big dinosaur.
Yeah.
Godzilla's a big dinosaur. It's in the new ones, he's a giant ancient reptile.
I mean, I feel like that's basically what they're going for the American Godzilla.
Yeah, he's just an ancient super species that, I would assume dinosaurs kind of evolved after.
Yeah.
Well, he's much older than them. But, yeah, Gorosaurus. Gorosaurus is a neat creature. I would like to see him come back in other things.
Yeah.
But Kong does in that movie, Kong does the iconic jawbreaker to Gorosaurus and kills him that way.
That's so much fun. Yeah, so that's a little mini history on Brosaurus.
And some of these, some of them, like Varan and Baragon, aren't even involved in the fight.
Varan's that one.
No, Varan's one flying behind Ghidorah to the left.
Okay.
He's like a giant flying squirrel. He has membranes like a giant flying squirrel.
Okay.
But like Baragon and Varen and Manda even don't do much. They made suits for the shots, but only use them like 1 or 2 times, and then they're just never seen again.
Yeah.
I would have thought it would have been cool, now that I'm thinking about it, if like they had done like Baragon like digging and then just had like part of the stage floor collapse under Ghidorah, like they drop him and that's how they get the jump on him.
Yeah.
Like Baragon just buries underneath and like
almost
drops
it makes
him.
a trap.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That would have been cool.
Yeah.
Why didn't you guys think of that, Toho?
Get on that.
Would have been awesome. Sure, it would have cost you some money, but it would have been cool looking.
I don't know. Maybe we'll see some crazy stuff with. Maybe we'll see like crazy returns in like Singular Point. I mean, I know we are already.
Yeah.
But like maybe we'll see more. In time to come.
Yeah, that would be pretty cool. I'd be ecstatic with that. Honestly,
I was kind of sad that we didn't see like actual Mothra.
Yeah, like, I guess, well, I understand why, because it probably costs more money to make the giant imago form.
Yeah.
And actually have the wires to, like, move the wings and everything. It probably costs less to have that remote-controlled...
and they probably break less.
Oh, yeah. And I mean, like, you don't have to have the whole apparatus for the wires strung up into the ceiling to like drop down. I get
there's a lot more work.
Yeah, I get why they don't do like why they stick with the larval form. I can't fault them for it, and it does a fine job of doing its silk spray.
It was pretty cool to have Mothra, and I'm not going to remember the spider's name.
Kumanga.
But
they call it Spiga in the American dubs.
Yes, I remember that now. But when they're both doing.
Oh yeah,
essentially string shot. That's what I call it, string shot
from each side to web Ghidorah.
It was pretty cool.
Yeah,
and that's how they get him down. I think. Actually.
Yeah. Because I think they web him, and then doesn't Gorosaurus like do his kangaroo kick to drop him?
Yes. Yep.
That's another thing that's pretty cool, and that is an ability that he had in King Kong Escapes.
Okay.
Because Kong like charges him, and he does this kangaroo kick and like kicks Kong.
It looks absolutely fucking ridiculous.
Yeah, like it's cool looking. Like I imagine, I'm like, how the hell could a dinosaur do that? And then I'm thinking about it. I'm like, I don't care. That's neat looking. You've never seen anything like that. But he just like hops up on his tail and just like drop kicks him, and I'm like, holy shit.
At least they kind of planned out the tail thing, because, he gets on his tail and he kicks.
Yeah, and he just kicks back, which is cool. I mean...
Doesn't Godzilla do that at some point?
We're going to get to that next episode, actually. You're in luck.
Yeah. I just remember seeing a shot of him doing it.
But with Gorosaurus doing that, it's impressive, because I think Ghidorah is, double his size.
Okay.
So for him to be able to kick down that much mass on his own, it's like, holy shit.
Yeah.
I feel like Ghidorah has a lot of center of mass is pretty goddamn good. He's stuck right there on the ground.
Well, yeah, he doesn't really have any top weight. It's all body.
Yeah.
And legs. Well, I guess his tail. He has 2 tails. Or whatever.
And that's the other thing. That should help him keep balance with 2 tails.
Yeah.
And the wings. I'm sure the wings weigh a little bit too. But
I love Ghidorah because the heads are just always
they're just going
flopping
everywhere.
the hell around. It's great.
And Ghidorah always gets the shit kicked out of him,
which
is just entertaining. He's a cool villain, but he just gets the piss kicked out of him.
Yeah.
Every single time. And he's always under mind control most of the time. From somebody.
Yeah. Well, it wasn't in King of the Monsters, the new one.
He wasn't. He wasn't under any mind control. Which I said that's one of the first... One of very few times where he's actually under the control of somebody.
I just had a momentary flashback of the trailer for that movie.
I think the first movie he was under... I'm sorry. In Ghidorah the Three-Head Monster, he wasn't under anybody's control. The second one, he was.
Yeah.
This one, he is.
Yeah.
In the next movie that we'll talk about, Well, no, I'm sorry. We won't talk about it in the next episode. We'll talk about it in... Oh, I gotta think about this. No, yeah. We're gonna have to do a 3-parter coming up. Yeah.
3 movies.
Yeah. In fact, we might just as well do the next episode as a 3-parter.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, we can sit down and plan that out.
Yeah. I'm thinking that's gonna be the best case scenario.
Okay.
Because
I'll take major notes then, because
the
it's hard enough with 2.
Well, because the episode following would be the Mechagodzilla sequels.
Yeah.
So, because if we do it 2 and 2, it's going to split Mechagodzilla, and then it's going to be Terror of Mechagodzilla in the next one.
Yeah.
I thought that it was going to land perfectly, but it won't,
Yeah.
unfortunately.
All right, well, any other things you can think of about Destroy All Monsters?
I like it.
Yeah.
I should probably rewatch it and pay more attention to it, but...
I mean, this is one that I think I'll definitely throw on the
let's
return to.
Let's talk about how the key locks are just living metal.
Yeah. Yeah.
So weird.
Yeah.
And they have intelligence.
Is that what that shot was? I was a little confused.
Turds that were like, they're like living metal, and I was like, what the hell is that? Like
I don't know if it was my lack of... Maybe I missed something in the first half, because like I said, I watched it on my phone. I don't know. But, yeah, that shot where they're, like, crawling into, like, little, I don't know, shit huts.
Yeah.
I don't know what the hell it was, but...
Yeah, they're apparently just, like, living metal. And I was like, oh.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I'm glad I now know what that was.
Let's just jump into the ratings. I would give this one from this viewing, and I might change it next episode if I decide to watch it again.
Yeah.
I would give it a 6.5. It has a compelling story, great monster action. It has an excellent score. Everything looks great. The only thing that I am just, like I said, some things just seem kind of wonky, out of place. And that could have just been from me not paying entire attention to it.
Yeah.
So, like I said, that score might go up. But that's probably the lowest that I'd rank it is a 6.5.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, this is the epitome of giant monster brawls. You really, aside from Final Wars, you really can't see this many monsters come together in one movie.
Right.
So this really is it's a pinnacle.
Yeah, it doesn't happen very often.
Yeah, it's a pinnacle. It's a huge crossover event of, I mean, holy shit. This is the Avengers of the Toho universe.
Yeah.
This was them building Godzilla, Rodan, Mothra, Varan, Baragon, Manda. Like, this was a conjoined cinematic universe.
Yeah.
Like, I don't ever want to hear anybody say Universal monsters never all came together in one movie.
Right.
Only the Avengers have come together in one huge movie, and that's them. Like, this is the OG Avengers. This is Earth's mightiest monsters coming in to save the day from a space threat.
Yeah.
AKA Ghidorah Loki.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know what? I'm taking it up to a 7 just because I made the Avengers, the analogy to Avengers. I'm taking it to a 7. It might go up farther. It might go down again. I don't know. But
I'm just going to ride your
right now.
Ride your 7 coattails, because that's what I was going to go with.
Yeah.
Yeah, like I got to this is a definite revisit for me, because, yeah, I have a terrible time watching movies. I hate it. But yeah, the second half, like, I was totally engaged. I'm like, this is awesome, and my lack of knowledge kind of hinders my experience sometimes, because I'm like, I don't know who the hell that is, or, but yeah, no, I can definitely appreciate that, this isn't a thing that happens very often, if really at all again, but, yeah. This is throw this in the definite watch side.
Yeah, this is definitely a good one.
Yeah.
This is one that I would recommend.
Yes.
To a fan of the series who's looking to find movies in the series that are standout to watch. Yeah. This is one of them.
And like any of these movies, we're only doing it because we're doing a podcast, and it's a cool venture to do it in chronological order. But like any of these movies, like if you just want the good ones, just take the recommendation and watch it. This next one's gonna be fun.
It's gonna be short. That's why I brought alcohol.
It's definitely not gonna be as long as the damn movie it is. It's not even that long of a movie.
And the recommendation certainly isn't, or the rating certainly isn't going to be as high.
No, not at all. Even the poster is garbage.
Spoiler alert. We're not going to give this one a good rating.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Look at that poster.
It's a neat poster.
I guess it is once you look at it. Like, what's this little guy?
Brosaurus.
Oh, is it?
Yeah, it's Brosaurus.
Oh, okay.
Brosaurus, Kamacuras, Ebera, Spiga, Gabara, Minya, and Godzilla.
Okay.
And it's the son of Godzilla suit. Oh my god. This is absolutely ridiculous.
So, do we even want to read? I don't know.
Yeah, we might as well read the synopsis just to get...
I don't even think it's very long.
No.
So this one is All Monsters Attack or Godzilla's Revenge. So All Monsters Attack, that's not what I want to read.
Wait a minute. Hold on. I never knew this was the title. All Monsters Attack, released in Japan as Gojira Minya Gabaru Aru Kaiju Tashike. Translates to Godzilla, Minya, and Gabara, All Monsters Attack. That's hilarious.
I didn't know that.
That is absolutely hilarious. I never knew that was it, because then that means that Godzilla, Mothra, King Ghidorah, Giant Monsters All Out Attack is a parody of that, and that movie's great, and that just tells me that they named the title just to make a joke about this movie, and I never put that together, and that is hilarious. Man, the Gamera guys really have a good sense of humor.
Yeah, because I almost watched that movie because it's on Tubi.
That's a good one. You would have watched a good movie and been like, I don't understand. You said this was bad. Like,
I almost played it and I saw a Gamera. I'm like,
You would have watched that movie and then you would have been like, I don't understand. This was awesome. And I'd have been like, wait, what movie did you watch? Oh, I watched Godzilla, Mothra, King Ghidorah, Giant Monsters All Out Attack. Oh, you watched a good one. Okay, well, now I see where we got screwed up here.
Okay. So, where the hell... It doesn't even have a freaking... Other than the plot, it doesn't have a synopsis.
Alright, so basically... Ichiro's this kid. He gets picked on by a bully named Gabara from school. And the whole movie is just either stock footage or them filming traffic or a train with Kenji Sahara riding in the engine.
Yeah.
So Gabara doesn't exist. Gabara is not a real kaiju. He is now in Godzilla Singular Point.
Uh-huh.
But in this movie, Gabara doesn't exist. All of the events that I should say 80% of the events that happen on Monster Island in Ichiro's mind, in his dreams. Keep in mind, this movie is all Ichiro's dream.
Yeah.
None of it is real. None of it is canon in the universe. So, Godzilla and Minya in
But it is because it's stock footage.
Well, yeah. Like, no. It happens.
I know, I'm sorry.
Yeah, so we have 3 different Godzilla suits that are used in this movie. All stock footage. We have Son of Godzilla, where Godzilla fights the Kamacuras again. And then we have stock footage of him fighting Ebera. And then we have the 68 suit from the year prior from Destroy All Monsters fighting Gabara, which is the 20% that's actual footage that they were able to shoot. But the rest of it is all stock footage of Godzilla fighting these other monsters. And there's like 20% where it's actually just brand new footage of Godzilla fighting Gabara, or Minya fighting Gabara. And then we have Minya. We watched the American dub because you really can't find this movie anywhere, and unless you have the DVD, you're really not going to be able to watch it.
Yeah.
So ours has the terrible dub,
oh my God,
where Minya sounds like Don Knotts the entire time, and
no, a bad impersonation.
A bad impersonation of Don
yeah.
Knotts.
If it was Don Knotts, I would have cared.
Oh yeah, I'd have laughed my ass off the entire time. But this movie just has all sorts of, and it's cropped terribly. Like, it's 4:3, and I feel like they ripped it from just like whatever film that they had of it.
Yeah.
But the way that it is cropped is so terrible. Like, there are shots where you're looking at it and you're like, okay, that clearly was supposed to have that kid in this shot. Or like, there's one scene where Ichiro's running away from Gabara, and Gabara is like opaquely put in behind, but it's only like you see like the tips of the fingers come into frame every now and again, and I'm like, oh my God, this is so bad.
Well, there was a shot, I forget what happened or who they were. I think it was the two train people.
Oh, probably the two detectives.
Maybe.
They were wearing the helmets. They were
yellow helmets.
Yeah.
But like, they weren't sitting right beside each other, so like, on both sides of the screen,
they were cut off.
They were cut off.
Yeah, this like the whole thing's a fucking mess. The whole movie's a goddamn mess. Like, it just seemed like to me it seemed like the head of the studio came in and he's like, "Hey, we're under budget, so you guys need to make a Godzilla movie." And they're like, "Well, how much do we have?" And he was like, "A couple." Like $200,000, and they're like, okay, so we can make another suit for another kaiju, and that's it. And then they're like, yeah. And they're like, okay, so the rest is just gonna have to all be stock footage. And then they just like rushed it out the next year, and it was just terrible. And I feel like that's why in between this movie and the next movie there's a 2-year gap.
Yeah,
like, they were like, okay,
well, even
we
to
need
this
to
movie
do
there was a
something.
year and like 3-4 months.
That's all they could come up with in a year,
right?
And like I feel like, although I feel like they blew their load with Destroy All Monsters.
Yeah,
you had a lot going on in there. You had a lot of monsters.
I think that's why they wanted so many in this one, because they're like, we can't have as many, but we gotta ease people out of it.
Yeah, we don't have enough money to actually make new footage, so we have to just use stock footage. And I mean, like, I think this is one of the Godzilla movies that gave the kaiju, the tokusatsu genre, a bad name, in my opinion, because of, like, the inconsistency in stock footage use, where people are like, it's so goddamn goofy because none of this is consistent. Like, it's all screwed up. And then, to top it all off, the dub for this is absolutely atrocious.
I mean, there's that
like,
one...
at least Destroy All Monsters had a good dub.
Yeah, no, I didn't notice anything in the dub. That one. But, like, this one, the kid, towards the beginning of the movie, the kid goes into his neighbor's house, and, like, this Jack-in-the-Box thing happens, and it pops up, and literally 10 seconds later, the sound comes up.
Oh, yeah.
Like, it was so jarring.
It was bad. And like I said, this one is definitely one you can skip, because nothing happens canonically.
Yeah.
It's all in the kid's mind.
And if you already don't like Minya,
don't watch it.
Don't watch it.
Yeah. Because you're gonna hate him even more after you watch
like we
this.
said, he talks.
Yeah. If you already hate Minya, do not watch this movie. Because you're
Isn't there a movie where Godzilla talks?
We're getting to that one. That one is next episode, actually.
I figured, yeah. I knew it was coming.
It's coming. Trust me.
Oh my God.
But like, this is. I think we're. So Ichiro gets kidnapped, but he sleeps half the time he's been kidnapped, so we can get to his dream sequences, so we can see the monsters. There's a whole subplot of these two robbers robbing the Imperial Bank for 50 million yen. It has absolutely no goddamn bearing on the story. When
we were watching
the whole movie is just a clusterfuck of just a bunch of different things. Like, you're supposed to apparently care about Ichiro and like him getting kidnapped, and I'm like, I don't care.
Yeah.
I'm like, I don't care. Like, and then it's everything that happens with the monsters is all in a dream sequence, and I'm like,
yeah, I don't know why.
I'm finding it hard to care about this movie in general, like in this whole scope.
Like the dude, the robbers should have like knocked him out or something, because who the hell sleeps when you're kidnapped?
Yeah, the kid just like falls asleep, and I'm like, what?
I mean, at least write it off that he like passed out from like terror.
Yeah, or something like that. But I mean, this is just a mess.
Because I mean, if I was that small and kidnapped, like I could see myself being passed out, because I'd be like, I don't want to be here.
Yeah, this whole movie's just a mess.
Yeah.
It's not. There's nothing redeeming about it.
No. Literally nothing.
This is probably going to be the Godzilla movie that we rank the absolute lowest. I'm talking lower than Raids Again.
I don't remember what we gave Raids Again, but
neither do I. But
God damn it, this better be.
This is definitely gonna be lower.
I can make it lower.
For
sure.
I'm definitely gonna make it lower.
I don't remember.
You know, we're jumping right into
the just go to it,
because this is atrocious. I'm gonna give this a 2.5.
Okay.
Out of 10, because
yeah,
like not even the kidnapper robber storyline keeps me enthralled at all.
No,
there's nothing engaging about the story. I could not give a shit less about Ichiro. He's just annoying at points.
Yeah.
There's nothing, like, he's not the hero of the story. He's not the hero of the story at all, because once we get to the end, he becomes the bully.
Yeah, literally.
And you're just like, what the hell?
He takes out his bully.
Then usurps him to become
literally
the bully.
2 seconds later, runs down the street.
And gets the guy to dump paint all over himself.
Yeah, like starts
and then runs
honking
away, like laughing about it.
Oh my God.
Like, yeah, there's absolutely nothing redeeming about this movie. It's not.
It's like you said. It's a shame we can't kick little kids down the steps.
Yeah, yeah.
Because I'd kick this little shithead down the steps.
Yeah, like I said that earlier. I was like, I'd kick him down the stairs. Like, I have zero qualms about kicking any one of these kids in this movie down the stairs.
So I'm gonna go even lower at 1.5.
That's fair.
That's
being generous, honestly.
Yeah, I can't give it a 0 because I don't know.
There's just nothing. There's nothing to go off of.
Yeah.
And there's nothing. None of the monster action is real.
Like, the reason I give it a 1.5 is only because there is one actual fight that is new.
Yeah. And even then, it's not real. So I'm like, I don't care, you know.
But it at least was okay. Like, I thought it was an okay sequence.
Yeah, it was okay.
Even if it wasn't real. But
yeah, this was just... no.
Yeah, I'd rather watch Raids Again than this one.
Yeah, for real.
And that's not saying much. This fight.
I considered watching Raids Again over this one.
Yep, this is the biggest stinker so far.
Huge.
Which, you know, that's why we're here. We're going through it all.
That's right.
Good, bad, ugly.
Yeah, it's
you know.
It's definitely not one that I am thrilled with.
So let's you said we should
do
3?
we're gonna do the 3 because we want to keep Mechagodzilla and Terror, because once we get down here, everything starts getting sequelized as it goes down.
Yeah, so we'll do those 2 and then we'll do we're back to 2 for that.
Yeah. Okay. So we'll do a 3-parter for this one.
Okay. Yeah. So
which will be fine because these are the end goofy.
Yeah.
Stragglers.
Yeah, so the next episode we'll be doing a 3-parter. We will be doing Godzilla versus Gigan, Godzilla versus Megalon,
and Godzilla versus Hedorah.
Oh, I skipped that one.
Yeah, you skipped that one.
God damn it.
Yeah.
Whatever.
So Godzilla versus Hedorah, Godzilla versus Gigan, and Godzilla versus Megalon are the 3 we're going to be tackling next because, as some of you may know, they start to get sequelized after that, and we'd rather keep them together than jump from one to the other. Yeah. So we're going to do a triple-parter And it's going to be awesome.
It's funny that this director did 2 of these and then the first mecha.
Yeah.
That's interesting.
Yeah. It's gonna be a lot of fun. Tackling a 3-parter is gonna be
It's gonna be interesting.
It's gonna be interesting, yeah. Because there's
I think these 3 are gonna. I think they're on HBO Max.
I think they are, yeah.
Yeah. For some reason, like these 2 that we watched this week were lost in obscurity. Well, the shitty one was, at least.
Yeah, that one should be lost in obscurity.
Yeah, it seems almost like it was done on purpose. But
like I said, I keep it around because it's part of the franchise. Yeah. But I rarely, if
might be
ever,
the
watch
redheaded
it.
stepchild of the franchise.
Oh, it is. I'd kick it down the stairs. If we did like one of my favorite YouTube channels, Red Letter Media, if we did a best of the worst, we'd be destroying the Godzilla's Revenge right now.
Probably costs a good penny though.
Oh yeah, you can't find that anymore.
Right.
So I wouldn't destroy it. We'd like make a fake
copy.
Yeah, we'd make a fake copy and destroy that. We're not destroying the real copy.
Yeah. So thank you guys for listening. Catch us next time when we do 3 movies, because that'll be fun.
It's gonna be awesome.
All right, we'll catch you guys next time. Later.